Okay, wait. Before you do anything else, I need you to stand up. Yes, right now. Like, literally stand up from wherever you are. And if you can, start walking around your room, down the hallway. Outside, if you want, just move, because here's what's going to happen. By the time this video is done, something will already be different inside your brain. Your thoughts will feel a little clearer. Your mood will be a little better. You might even get a random idea or two out of nowhere. And all of that from something embarrassingly simple. Walking sounds too easy, right? Yeah, that's kind of the whole point. Okay, so, real talk. Have you ever been completely stuck on something? Like, staring at a problem for an hour, trying to think your way through it, and nothing works. Your brain just refuses, so you give up for a second. You go get water. You take a walk. You step outside. And then it happens. Out of nowhere, the answer just appears, like someone quietly slipped it into your brain while you weren't looking. An idea shows up, the fog clears, and you're like, wait, that was the answer the whole time. Well, yeah, and it's not a coincidence. Your brain literally works differently when your body is moving. And today, we're going to talk about why. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Life Buddy, and on this channel, we take complicated stuff, psychology, human behavior, how the mind actually works, and we break it down so it actually makes sense. No jargon, no textbook language, just the real stuff. And today's topic, it sounds boring on the surface. Walking? But honestly, it's one of the most underrated things your brain desperately needs. And most people have no idea. And if you're still walking right now, while watching this, good. Keep going. Your brain is already waking up. Alright, so let's get into it. The first thing that happens when you walk is your heart starts pumping a little faster. Nothing crazy, you're not sprinting, but your heart rate goes up just enough to push more blood through your body. And here's why that matters. Your brain, it is the most demanding organ in your entire body. It uses about 20% of all the oxygen you breathe. Just sitting there, thinking. So when you walk and your heart pumps more blood, more oxygen reaches your brain. Fresh fuel, more supply. And when your brain gets that boost of oxygen, it starts working better, faster, sharper, clearer. It's honestly kind of like, imagine your brain is a phone running on 10% battery, just barely surviving. Sluggish, slow, struggling. Walking is like plugging it in. Not a full charge yet, but enough to actually function properly again. That brain fog you feel after sitting for hours. Yeah. Walking is literally the fix for that. Okay, so now here's where it gets really interesting. Researchers at Stanford University ran a study, and what they wanted to know was simple. Does walking actually make you more creative? So they put people in two groups. One group sat down and tried to come up with ideas. The other group walked on a treadmill while thinking. And the results? The walkers came up with way more ideas. Not just a little more. Like, significantly more. More original, more creative, more varied. And here's the wild part. Alright, let's talk about what's happening chemically. Because this part is actually really satisfying once you get it. When you walk, your brain releases a cocktail of chemicals, and each one does something different. First, dopamine. That's your motivation chemical. The one that makes you feel like, yeah, I can do this. Like things actually feel worth doing. Then there's serotonin. That one handles your mood. It's why after a walk, you feel weirdly okay. Even if nothing in your life changed, your brain chemistry shifted. And then there are endorphins. Those are your natural stress reducers, the ones that take the edge off, make things feel a little less heavy. So combined, a 10-minute walk is basically a tiny reset for your mental state. No subscription required, no side effects, just your own body doing its thing. And people are out here spending money on stress apps when the fix was literally just going outside for 10 minutes. Wild. Okay, so here's something that sounds counterproductive, but is actually really powerful. When you walk, your brain doesn't stay totally focused. It starts to wander a little. And most people think that's a bad thing. Like, oh no, I'm distracted. I'm not being productive. But actually, when your mind wanders, your brain switches into what scientists call the default mode network, which is basically your brain's background processing mode. Think of it like, you know how your phone updates apps at night when you're not using it? It does all this work quietly in the background. That's what your brain does when it wanders. It starts connecting ideas, linking things you've been thinking about, finding patterns, processing stuff you didn't even know you were holding on to. And that's where the magic happens. That random solution that pops into your head, that's your default mode network doing its job. You weren't being lazy. Your brain was working, just differently. All right, one more thing before we wrap up. And this one is kind of a big deal. There's a part of your brain called the hippocampus. It's basically your brain's memory center. It's responsible for storing new information, making sense of experiences, keeping your memory sharp. And research has shown that regular physical activity, including walking, actually helps the hippocampus stay healthy. It can even help it grow slightly in size, which means walking isn't just good for right now. It's an investment in your brain. Long term, people who move regularly tend to have sharper memory, better focus as they age, lower risk of cognitive decline. So, a daily walk isn't just a mood booster. It's like maintenance for your brain, like taking your car in for a regular checkup, except it's free, and you can do it in flip-flops. So here's what I want you to take away from all of this. Modern life has completely convinced us that being productive means sitting at a desk, sitting in front of a screen, sitting and grinding and pushing through. But your brain did not evolve in an office. Humans spent most of history moving, hunting, wandering, exploring, thinking, while their bodies were in motion. So when you sit still all day and try to force ideas, you're actually fighting your own biology. But when you walk, you're working with it, you're using your brain the way it was literally built to work. That's not some wellness trend. That's just how humans are designed. And honestly, it's kind of liberating when you realize it, because it means the answer to being more focused, more creative, less stressed. Isn't another productivity app. It's not a complicated routine. It's just going outside for 10 minutes. That's it. That's the thing. If you're still walking right now, that's already 10 minutes of movement, oxygen, and clearer thinking. Your brain is genuinely a little different than it was when you pressed play. And look, I'm not saying walking solves everything. Life is complicated. Problems are real, but sometimes the simplest thing is also the most underrated thing. If you enjoyed this and want to keep learning about how your brain works, how behavior makes sense once you understand the why behind it, subscribe to Life Buddy. We keep it simple, no jargon, just facts. I'm Life Buddy, and I'll see you in the next one.